Hello, peace seekers. This is Saniqua White popping in to give you a piece of my mind that will hopefully give you some peace of mind. Now, we're going to continue talking about internal versus external motivation. In a previous video, I talked about losing or never having the internal motivation because you didn't have a cheering section, as a child growing up that helped you, the external motivation helping you build the internal motivation. In this video, I want to talk about it in a sense where you actually did have the internal motivation at one point. You did have a cheering section growing up to where the external motivation of your family helped you build your internal motivation where you were proud of yourself. You were a daredevil almost. Nothing was unreachable to you. You felt like you could do things. You had the self-esteem. You had the self-confidence. But somewhere along the line, whether it started in your teenage years or where it started in your adult years, where over a period of time of situations and circumstances and things going in and out of your life where your self-esteem and your self-worth started to take a hit, so your internal motivation started to die to where possibly you needed more external motivation. And maybe if you didn't get the external motivation, you just didn't have any motivation at all, where you didn't want to do anything unless somebody cheered you on about it. Oh, girl, you are so good at XYZ. Do this for me, or come do this party for me, or you're great at doing hair. Just do my hair for me. I'll pay you for it. Where someone had to basically be on your back, or someone has to do that and be that kind of assertive or maybe even aggressive with you for you to be able to get any motivation to do something. And then after you do it, if they don't praise you for it, you feel like you didn't do a good job. Like your internal motivation is just not there, and then your self-esteem and self-confidence are just not there either. Even though in actuality you're amazing, you don't realize that you're amazing. So if you had the internal motivation, if you had the self-confidence and self-worth before, but then some situation or over a period of time, life situations kind of just dug into you where you lost it, this is going to be a situation where you might need some therapy, because you're going to have to go back into your memory banks and start looking at what situations, what people, what circumstances kind of fed into you losing your internal motivation, your self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence being hit to where you lost some of it. I would suggest that it's not gone. It may just be buried underneath life, anything and everything that happened to you. So think of it in that way. What if it's not gone? What if you just have to do the work to uncover it, to dig it up? Now, I'm not saying that this is easy at all. As a matter of fact, I'm saying it's pretty difficult because you have to locate it. If it's, I don't know how far it's buried. It's buried under months and years worth of drama and trauma, possibly. But you cannot go through life only doing things by external motivation, because somebody is not always going to be there to cheer you on or to praise you for it. They may say thank you and that may be it. But if you're in a state where your internal motivation is not there, you're in a deficit of self-esteem, self-worth, and self-confidence, that thank you, even though it's heartfelt, is not going to be enough for you to keep going. You're going to have to dig deep and find all of those things within yourself, so that even when you don't get that thank you or that praise or whatever it is that you're looking for, you can still keep going. Now, just like the other type of a loss or a lack of internal motivation, you're still going to have to find a purpose and an assignment attached to that purpose. for you to dig yourself out of it. Because even if you find what happened, how you lost it, where it got lost, you're going to have to do the work to pull yourself out. And what I always say is that you need something out in front of you to reach for in order to dig yourself out of a place of being stuck or being buried or a lack of motivation, a lack in any area, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth. You're going to have to find something that's meaningful to you to help you pull yourself out of it. And I say purpose and assignment because that is something that's not about you. Yes, you are needed. You are an answer to some problem that's out there in the world. So you are beneficial. You are needed in the world. It's not about you, but it's going to involve you. It's going to take you. You may not even be able to do all of this work by yourself. You may need a team, but until you know what that is, you're stuck. You're not motivated. You're in a deficit of your lack of self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, all of that. So you are going to have to find and dig where it got lost, where you last remember having it. What were you excited about as a young person? What did you want to do? What did you feel like you were put on this earth to do? What were you naturally amazing at? And what you really wanted to do was to hone that skill or that craft. And then somewhere down the line in those situations or with those people or circumstances, it took a hit and you tried to put it aside, and you have put it aside unsuccessfully, because when you put it aside, you lost everything. Like almost like when you try to numb one feeling, you end up numbing all your feelings. So you don't feel excitement either because you were trying to numb sadness. Where did you put that desire, that passion, that motivation that you once had? You're going to have to go back and dig it up. And this is where I suggest you find a therapist, possibly a coach, to help you dig that stuff up so you can reboot, so you can re-energize, so you can recharge, so you can find that internal motivation again. Your next steps are to find someone to help you, either an accountability partner, a mentor, a therapist, a coach, someone to help you walk through this process. Okay? I hope that this helps. If it does, remember to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to comment, I definitely love to hear from you. Until then, be proactive about your mental health. Be well, and God bless.